Good evening. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Yes, we are doing it. We're doing it and doing it and doing it well. Don't be jealous. But thank you guys again for joining us. Please and share because it's not just for you, okay? Bring your friends along and subscribe. Because we do have a magazine and a show. What she say? There's a magazine and a show. So we have a great show for you all once again, as I stated. And, before we get into the nitty gritty, let me just go ahead and introduce my hostess with the mostest, Mr. Gerald C. Anderson. I like to sing his name. I don't know why I like to sing your name.
Don't do the singing thing, okay?
No? Darn. I thought I hit that note real good. I didn't hit it good.
You hit that note only Will can love.
You always got to bring my husband in it. You know what? He ain't did nothing to nobody.
That was a compliment to him.
Say that again?
That was a compliment to him.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure, because sometimes you give those little blows. So I got to pay attention. So, so you had a good week?
I did have a good week. So
anything new and exciting?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I guess we will let them in on the secret here in a little bit. Huh?
Oh, you mean you don't want to say anything yet?
No, let's not say anything just yet. So.
Darn. Okay. I'm ready. You see, I'm ready. I've been ready since last week. And the week before that.
Yeah.
So I can't hold the secret too long. No. So let's tell everyone a snippet of who we have on the show today.
Well, if you have never heard of someone mixing poetry and jazz together, you're about to hear that tonight. How this young man mixed these two things together, and it sounds really good. So, so I think people will like that. And then following that poet spirit, we have another poet who's also an actress, a singer. She does a lot of great things, and she happens to be a good friend of mine who I've known for many years. Very talented, Leslie Saint-Julien.
And she's from Brooklyn. Yes.
Oh yeah, she has that against her. Well, we love her anyway, so. She's gonna get me for that.
Yeah, you're lucky she didn't hear you.
And then we have Dr. Smith, who I am very impressed with. She started her own school, got the little kids out there, and I think you're really gonna be impressed with that. We're gonna drop the links for all of them in the comments as they come up. Mm-hmm. So you can follow them and you can check them out and then see what they're doing, and stay up with them even after the show. So I'm thinking you're really gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, they're very impressive. I mean, all I guess have pretty much been impressive, but they're very impressive individuals, I must say. So, right. So very much so. So now we're supposed to go to our positive media moment, but Buff is having a little technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's the LA sun. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go. So they're having a little technical problem. So I'm thinking, do you want to kind of go right into our first guest? I mean,
yeah. Let's go right into the first guest.
Yeah, give him a little more time as well. Yeah. So go ahead. You introduce this gentleman.
So I had the honor and the pleasure of meeting Zemill a few months ago, as he is in our latest issue, the fall issue of the Lyfe Magazine. We did a story on him, and I said, "Hey, why don't we bring him on live so people can hear his Pojazz, and then we can talk about it, and we can tell them about the show." So first, we're going to run a clip and let you hear him perform, and then we're going to bring him on and then talk to him and get to know him a little better. That sounds good? Pojazz. Love it.
This is called covenant. I will not tell you things I do not believe. I will not falsify or deceive. I'm fractured and fragmented and made of tarnished pieces, brittle patience with a low tolerance adjacent. No time for foolery and cautious with all things new to me. My thoughts have walked in deserts I thought were barren of scope until you uncloaked the mystery of my misery as I thought only God saw the best in me. What you offered me through your humility as your kindness conquered instability was a segue to a source that was too often devoid of remorse, yet you accepted me as I am, your intentions without scams, and now I can clearly see the person I never thought I would be able to free. Life is no fairy tale, and I know there will be days that are full of hell. But just know at the end of that day, right here with you is where I'll always stay. And legions of mountains can never stray the love that I confess to you this day. This is my pledge. This is my promise that with you, I will always be honest. Because you stepped into the doorway of my iniquity, navigated across the terrain of my insensitivity, made cool my moods, gave of yourself without rules. The heavens proclaim that with you I can't lose. I believe that before the world came to be, angels assigned you to me. These vows, I petition benevolence to decree that our love will last beyond perpetuity. This is my promise. This is my pledge that I will leave you never because you are my forever.
All right, Zemill, how you doing this evening?
What's up? What's up? How we doing, Gerald? How we doing?
Oh, my.
How we doing?
If I had a wine glass, I'd be like, ting, 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 ting. Like, that was like wonderful. It definitely puts you in the moment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right.
So you
tell
know
us how that piece came about.
You know, I was working on some poems for a particular friend of mine who was doing having a 20th wedding anniversary. Mm-hmm. And they wanted a love poem to, you know, show what their vows meant or explain or you know, display what it was that love was to them. And I got an opportunity to perform it and do it. And I thought I'd do something a little bit different than just straight spoken word with a different kind of rhythm and dramatic, you know, feel to it, just to give you something. I wanted to give you something really pure. And because the essence of love to me and the intimacy is more about the mindset, the feeling, the aura, more than it is the physical touching. So covenant is that love in its purity and in its purest form. And so that's how I came up with that.
Amen to that one. That is good. Now, the obvious question I'm, going to ask is the whole Pojazz. Like, explain that to me because it's a little tickle. It tickles me a little bit, and it's very interesting. So, explain Pojazz.
Well, first of all, I'm going to have to put. I talked to a couple of friends of mine. I'm going to have to put like a phonetic spelling of it, because actually it's Pojazz. You say Pojazz, but most people say Pojazz because it's just easier just the way you read it and that you see it. But Pojazz itself is the blending of smooth jazz, smooth R&B, neo soul, spoken word with a splash of blues and a little neo soul blended together to give you an inspiring mood that will lift your heart, stir your spirit, and warm your soul. So we took the very essence and blending of all of those elements to create something that puts us in our own lane. So that is Pojazz.
Pojazz. I need that on a t-shirt. Yeah. Pojazz.
You know what? I will send you one.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah. I like that. And I love how you explain it. It like makes sense now.
Thank you.
So another question, just poetry in itself, your vocabulary has to be a little bit extensive, correct or no? Or is it just the rhyming of words, or you have to have some type of, like, Explain it to me.
Yes, good question. You have to have the vocabulary has to be there. And what I used to do, not as much today as I, several years ago, but I still like the word of the day. And what I would do is get the word of the day on the dictionary and it would come to me. And then I'd learn that particular word and then practice using that word in a sentence, in a poetic sentence or in a poetic phrase. And that is how I began to expand the vocabulary, because poetry in itself, sometimes it can be, we can be really, really deep in terms of thoughts. And sometimes the words can go beyond the, latitude of someone's landscape in terms of dictionary or vocabulary. However, the idea is to convey the message. And what I did was I spent a lot of time studying and listening to myself and listening to others and taking the essence of what those words were and putting them into a phrase that fits the emotion that I was intending to tap into.
Okay. Pojazz.
So I heard the story a few months ago, but I want you to tell everybody how you got your name, Zemill.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Zemill actually came from my father, who was not in my life a lot. And I saw my father after 20 years. I mean, it had been 20 years since I had seen him. And we were at a place and we went to lunch. And he said to me, I had never given you much in your entire life, and I've never done anything for you. But if I had to do it all over again, I would give you this. And that would be the name Zemill. And Ephraim is the given name, which means doubly fruitful. Zemill means joyous melodies in Hebrew. And I asked him, why would he call me or give me the name Zemill? And he said something that really took me by surprise. He said, well, I came to a couple of your events. I saw you on stage, in high school, and your melodies and your words strike the hearts and notes of people. And so I think that what you write is beautiful. Therefore, Zemill is joyous melodies in Hebrew. And that's what I see when I hear your words.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's a nice gift after 20 years, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? It's a beautiful gift, actually. And I got to tell you, I've been writing under that persona and under that pseudonym ever since, because I believe that the name is strong, not from an arrogant perspective or whatever, but I think that it's a beautiful sentiment in terms of, if you're a lyricist and you are a poet and your name means joyous melodies. Yeah, I just thought that was a home run. I thought that was out the park.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. And if you think about it, also one of the things my grandfather used to always say, all a man has is his name and his word, and you have to protect those things with your life, basically. So it's like your name and your word. So names, yeah, I agree with that. That's deep. I like that.
Yes, indeed.
So tell us about the Pojazz experience. So I know you've been taking it around now for how many years, and how many different cities you've gone to, and how has it affected people after the experience?
Oh, okay, good. Well, it's interesting that you should ask me that question, because I'm actually finishing up the editing from last year's show, and I have a total new appreciation for editing and film work, right? Because I've been working on this thing for about a year, and the last Zemill's Pojazz experience was at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, where we did a full-blown show. Now I'm still doing different events, solo events, and for different people and different things, different organizations. But the full-blown show last year was the full-blown Zemill's Pojazz experience. And Zemill's Pojazz experience brings together artists. Like, I have an incredible team. I've got Joel McCrae, Fulton Turnage, Chiquita Jones, Will Brooks, Lenny Nance, different artists, phenomenal musicians who come together, and we take smooth jazz, we take the smooth R&B, and we take the spoken word, and we do a complete show, and we mix it up, because sometimes you're feeling a little words, right? Sometimes you're feeling a little smooth jazz. Sometimes you're feeling, just the music. Sometimes you want to get up and dance and do a little R&B. And we put all of that in one show that is cohesive and seamless. So Zemill's Jazz Experience is an engaging, audience involving, audience participation event that's for grown and sexy, and it's a hell of a night out. Whether it's a girls' night out, date night out.
It sounds like it.
And let me just say this: if you, as a brother, I'm talking brother to brother now.
All right.
Just telling you, if you can't win after leaving Zemill's Pojazz Experience, it's on and popping. I don't know what to tell you, because truly, I am there for the brothers as much as I am the sisters. I am your setup guy, and the music, the words and music will do that. And so, Zemill's Pojazz Experience is all of those things. It's a
that is awesome
journey through music and love and laughter, and just an entertaining evening.
Well, just to let you know, that's going to be part of the clips that we showed. We will definitely be putting that on the clip.
Oh yeah! Wow! Okay, here we go. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. When you see Zemill's Pojazz Experience, once we finish the editing of it, when you actually see it, you're gonna remember I said that line, and I said it here. And okay, this is what he was talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Well, if there's anything like that Covenant clip we played, I mean, that was smooth.
Let me just say this: it's Covenant on another level.
Oh wow!
Like, it's Covenant with the full blown band behind me, and different grooves, because what I like to do is, again, give you a variety. So it's not just, love. It's not just the smooth jazz, but it's the sensual side of life. And then we do real talk as well. We talk social conscious. I speak directly to the women. I speak directly to our people. I talk about what's happening in the streets. I talk about, the beauty and the majesty of women, the majesty of Black men and women. And so we go through the whole gamut. And we also talk about, feelings. And I also recognize the people who have gone through things, like cancer and those kind of things. So it's an entire thing, but the love portion of it is it's drop the mic type stuff, I'm telling you.
Yeah, okay. I love that. And you have to let us know when you come to Florida, because it's like, we definitely have to check that out. So.
I had some friends who came up from Florida. They said they had never seen anything like that before.
I've never heard of anything like that. So that's why I think it's like an experience, the way you're explaining it.
Yeah, it is. You haven't seen it. If you've seen Love Jones and the movie Love Jones, it's like another level in terms of just the actual show itself, because it encompasses, like I said, all aspects of life, and it brings you in. We have the women meowing and the guys going roof, and we have they're all in by the time we leave. They chant going down the stairs.
All right.
That is good. So now I have another question. It's like, now, since you're so socially conscious in a sense, and you have to kind of stay abreast of all of the goings on in the world, so to speak, do you ever find yourself getting a little too absorbed with being so aware or so conscious of just things and stuff?
Ms. Tina, that's a really, really good question. I don't know if all the interviews I've done, I've ever been asked that question, but that's a good question.
That's why you're at the Lyfe Live.
Yeah, totally. The answer to your question is yes. Sometimes it gets to be a bit much. And it's one of the reasons why I have periods like today. I don't turn on any news, and I'm not turning on any TV, because the madness that exists out there in the streets, it's just crazy. There's a point in the show where I say, this is why we march. This is why we must continue to fight. because every day our people wake up to a world that's not treating us right. We've been tarred and feathered, hung from trees with rope, vine, and leather, burned, kicked, cursed, and lashed, branded as property and experimented on for cash. Our women violated, our men mutilated, our hands and feet chopped off if we were defined and wanted to be educated. So we go into, and when you have all of those things going on and you're aware, and not only when you are aware and you have all those kind of things going on and you understand the root cause and the source, and you fully understand that, it makes it difficult to stay tuned in and tapped into that, because it breaks the frequency that you're on a daily basis when you're trying to chill out, because you understand the madness. And actually one of the things that's really that gets you in direct answer again to that question is the people around you don't understand and see what's really happening. And that's one of the things that I did. I did a series of Tuesday's Truth. I do Tuesday's Truth, Zemill's Tuesday's Truth at Zemill's Pojazz Experience. I do Tuesday's Truth and Wednesday's Word, and Tuesday's Truth speak to what's really happening and what's really going on, and speak to that very thing about the problem is the people not knowing and the people not caring and the people in place and the people who are complicit in allowing those things to happen. So that's a great question. So the answer is yes. And I turn it off. My remedy is I turn it off. I unplug and I decompress. I have a couple of hours on the weekend where I go to the gym and I put my phone, I leave my phone in the locker. There are days I put my phone down. I'm just no contact, old enough to remember when we didn't have phones and I didn't need to talk to somebody every 5 seconds. I needed to know what was going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because I was just curious about that, because I always find with poetry or even just, if someone is a speaker, you have to somewhat protect your vortex in a sense and not always let everything in all the time, because you have to create that balance. So I was just curious at how you actually turn it on, turn it off. So it's good to know that you do that. So that's good. That's why I can sense all your deepness, so to speak.
It's a filter you develop over time.
I'm like, stop, enough.
Yeah.
No, it is good.
Let it go. Throw it down.
Tell us how you come up with the music though. The music portion of this.
Oh man, another great question. For the music, for me, I hear words and I hear music. And for me, it's whatever is going on in the moment in terms of how I feel, because I only write, whether it's the poetry or the music or the melody, I only write and hum it and put it down when I hear it in my head, when I feel it, when it comes from up there. Because when you sit down and attempt to make it up and to write it, it's not as pure as when it comes from here and it comes from here. And so the music for me is a feeling, it's a vibe. And sometimes I hear melodies and no words. Sometimes I hear words and no melodies. And sometimes I hear the whole entire song. And then I have, like I mentioned before, a couple of guys, Joe McCrae primarily, and then Lenny Nance, who will listen to what it is that I heard, the music, and they'll play it for me. I'll say I want to go to do 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 do, and they'll go to the piano or to the bass or to the drums and go to do 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 do. And so that's how we put the music together. But for me, the music is it's a feeling. It just comes over me. It's something that happens that I feel it, and I only do it when I feel it, because again, I feel I'm just an instrument that's commissioned to give inspired thoughts, and that's what I attempt to do, whether it's with the music or with the spoken word. So it has to be a feeling.
Okay. So do you have a schedule somewhere where people can find out what city you're going to be in?
Well, the schedule, the new calendar about what I'm doing will not be out or anything of that nature until probably February or March. Why? Because I've taken a break. One of the things I didn't do after the first of the year, I retired from the largest transportation company in the world. I won't say their names, not get you paid for it, but I retired after a long time, and I really should have taken some time off, and I didn't. And so what I'm going to do is take some time off, because after this, I've got to write a play that I'm doing in a one-man play for February. So the next big thing for me is February 18th here in Dallas at the Irving Arts Center for the Irving Black Arts Council. I'm doing a one-man play on Black history. And I'm going to bring to you Black history from a different perspective. It's called, and actually you're the first people that know the title of it is How Being Black Changed the World Through the Eyes of a Poet. So no one else has seen that. So
wow,
that's the show on February 18th. So that's the next big thing for me. To find me is Zemill's Pojazz Experience on Facebook, Zemill's Pojazz on Instagram, Zemill's Pojazz on TikTok, and Zemill.com for all things Zemill.
Right. And we did drop your link in the comment.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Once again, I want to say this again. Man, that's a really nice job. That's a really, really, really nice job on that magazine and on that spread. I got a lot of compliments on that magazine. So
thank you. We appreciate it.
Outstanding.
In case y'all didn't realize that he was in the fall edition, which is currently selling right now. So you can catch more, read more about Zemill in that edition. So and a Pojazz.
Absolutely. Yeah, to get some, and the music is everywhere. You know, there's 4 CDs. There's Timeless Intimate Pleasures. There's In the Mix, and there's Zemill's Essential Smooth Jazz. Amazon Music, anywhere you download your music. I'm telling you, it's a nice ride, and it'll chill you out for real.
All right.
Oh, I think so.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So if you want to pick up the issue with Zemill in it, you can. I'll drop the link in the comments, so you can pick that up.
Yes, subscribe to learn more, or I'm going to keep singing.
Please subscribe. So Zemill, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We had a good conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time. It's always good talking to you guys. Good seeing you, and nice meeting you, Miss Tina.
Yes, nice. This is really good. I like this.
We'll talk again.
All right. Absolutely. Have a good evening.
Peace.
All right.
That is.
So now we got the right thing.
Yeah, because I'm locked and loaded in it. Like that is like so like it's like woosah. I just love it. And when I was in New York, I mean, we used to always go to like, poetry, stuff. And it was this place called The Cellar that we used to always go to. And they did poetry. They have poetry nights. And it's such a great way to wind down from a week, let's just say. So, jazz.
So, guess who showed up?
I just want to do that. Must be Buffy.
Must be Buffy, right? So we got to back up and go and get our positive media moment from Buff Patterson.
Okay, so let's go. There you go, sunshine.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
No, we always were able to hear you. We couldn't see you.
Oh well, I was having some computer technical issues, but I'm so excited because today is amazing because I'm bringing a very positive media moment here from California. Yes. Today I want to discuss how to never give up, and most of my positive media moments are about people that press on. And today's positive media moment is Cardia Brown of the Food Network. Now, I don't know if you guys know her. Miss Brown is amazing. She is from the Gullah Islands in South Carolina. Did you guys know the Gullah Islands? You had a lot of Africans come there, and they have a specific food. They're known for their seafood.
Okay.
Yeah, I never heard of Gullah.
The Gullah Islands? I bet you somebody's listening know where the Gullah Islands are. So type in if you guys know where the Gullah Islands are. Miss Cardia Brown, she started off in social work, and she tried out for a pilot for the Food Network. They're like, well, your skills aren't good enough. So that was in 2015. And after that, she started a supper club, a traveling supper club around the area. And she would have Gullah Island poets and singers, and they would go travel along this supper. So supper clubs are, they would like take a restaurant, and that day they would go and do a whole traveling supper club. So they're not standalones. They just go around. And I think that's amazing. But
That's cool.
can you imagine? Like every time you go to another city, she has a traveling supper club. You know,
That's
that
creative.
seems interesting, right?
I like
Okay,
that.
yeah.
I like that.
And then after that, she Martha Stewart saw her and was like, this lady she's the one. And she got another audition for the Food Network, and she specializes in good soul food. You know, stuff to stick to your bone.
Yeah, like
Stuff
that.
that make you go,
skillet
ow,
bread.
ow. You know, stuff that when somebody bites you over, that means you're trying to catch a man. You're going to keep a man and you're going to catch a man. This food is amazing. And now she has a amazing syndicated talk show on the Food Network, Delicious Miss Brown. I know your visitors have seen this show. Delicious Miss Brown. Oh my goodness. She does Gullah Island food with a twist. I know. Did you check her out, Gerald?
No, I did not.
Delicious Miss Brown. She has an award-winning cookbook out right now. I want to fly to South Carolina to check out Cardia Brown. She has, I think, over 3 million followers on Instagram. She is the real deal, Holyfield. Makes that real food. So this whole thing is never give up on your dreams. If they say no one time, let them say no 100 times. Never stop. And as a Black woman chef, because we always feature a lot of men chefs here on the Lyfe, but this is about women, positive energy, never give up. And never give up on Buffy, because Buffy has computer problems sometimes. But I didn't stop. I thought, wait a minute, use your noggin, Buffy.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Buff, for that. We appreciate it.
Love you, Buff. Even at your technical issues.
All right. So.
But I'm gonna check out Delicious. What is it?
Well, I'm always down for some food. So.
Yeah, because I like watching cooking shows.
Yeah,
so I'm
I always
definitely
like eating food. So
do that. Yeah. So we're going to the commercial now.
We're going to a commercial, and then we get to talk to Leslie Saint-Julien when we come back. My good friend. So let's hit this. Let's pay some bills, as you always like to say.
Because they do.
What? We got a radio station? Who said that? Yeah, check that out. Look at it. Y'all gonna have to check out our radio station after this show, and we're gonna drop the link in the comments, so you'll be able to go check out some jazz, some gospel, and some R&B, all on our radio station. We're gonna have some talk shows coming out too, so be ready for that. I think the first one is dropping Friday, right?
Yes, Friday, 7:30. Kings and Queens.
Oh, interesting. It's a chess podcast, huh?
Yes.
You're supposed to say no.
Hear me talking again, but but yes, we are so excited about the radio station, and oh my gosh, yes. So it's so much more to come. So many things. When a tree is growing, the last thing you want to do is cut its limbs. You got to let them sprout out.
That's right. That's right. All right,
we are growing. So I love it.
We're gonna show a little clip here of Leslie performing, and then we're gonna bring her on stage and get a chance to talk to her.
Yes, Miss Leslie. Yes, I'm singing again.
What's in your cup? Everybody's got something that they draw from that keeps their heart beating. I got a cup of me. Let me tell y'all what's in my cup. It's filled with love. It is filled with faith. It is filled with hope, my cup of me. It is filled with joy. It is filled with laughter. It is filled with courage, my cup of me. It is served warm and never cold. It is made sweet and never bitter. It is bold and not weak. This is my cup of me. Add to it some strength and tears, and add my dreams to seal the layers. Of all the cups I dare to drink of, only this one answers prayers. It has a fight within its bite. Its aroma cuts the stillness of any air. In the base, there is a root that never dies despite despair. I'll drink it now and more forever. It is the cup that sets me free, and only I can pour into it, for it is a cup of me. A cup of me. Now, let me tell you what's really in my cup. Y'all ready? I pour in blackness, I pour in pain, and I can taste the bloody stains. Every time my brother's being murdered, and every time my sister's being slain. For every mother that has cried, for every child that has died, I pour my tears into my cup. I said I pour her tears into my cup. Though I've never carried one inside, for all the fathers being taken, crying sons who cannot breathe, cannot breathe, cannot breathe, and calling mama, I'm being murdered by a knee. When kneeling is a postured prayer, in position of respect. Now a weapon used for death, now a cardiac arrest. Now my cup is overflowing, no more room to add a drop. Now a potion of despair, now diluted by the cops. Make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. A cup of me. What's in your cup? Hades in my cup. Let me tell you all the names inside of my cup. Keith Childress, make it stop. Betty Jones, make it stop. Kevin Matthews, Michael Noel, make it stop. Leroy Browning, Roy Nelson, Miguel Espinar, make it stop. A cup of me. Nathaniel Pickett, Tiara Thomas, Cornelius Brown, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. A cup of me, a cup of you. Anthony Ashford, Dominic Hutchinson, Lamontez Jones, Rayshawn Cole, make it stop. My soul wants to make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. I remember you, Baltimore, Freddie Gray, rest in power. Prosper, Michael Brown, Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo. I said Amadou Diallo. Make it stop. Sharice Francis, Rakia Boyd, make it stop. Eric Garner, Jamar Clark, a cup of me. Yvette Smith, a cup of me. Natasha McKenna, Ahmaud Arbery, make it stop. Ahmaud Arbery, make it stop. A cup, a cup. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Minneapolis, a cup of me. What's in your cup? Too many names in this cup. A cup of me, a cup of me. Brooklyn, make it stop. Botham, Jean, Trayvon, Martin, Philando Castile, Alton, Sterling, Sandra Bland, Tanisha Anderson, Tony McDade. Too many names in this cup.
Hey, Leslie.
Bravo.
That was
got me choking up. Got me choking up.
That
was
was
awesome.
Situations,
heard it
as
in a
your
while.
Jaws
Yes.
had in the background. Situations. Did everyone catch that?
Yeah, I definitely
All
caught
in
it.
the details. It's all in the details.
Yeah.
Whew. I didn't know I was going to be choking up off of my own words. I haven't heard them in a while. And that poem was written out of some pain. So
Yes.
here I am. Hello.
Get it, girl.
Here they go.
Yeah, when Zemill was talking, I was thinking about that. I was thinking, say, man, these two really got a connection here because we're talking about pretty much the same thing.
Yes,
So that was good. That was good. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
he
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. I got my cup of me. My cup of
Hey,
me.
there you go. What's in your cup? We're going to talk about what's in everybody's cup. Thank you
Wow,
so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. It definitely is. And again, I mean, you did it. I'm gonna give you your kudos because you was wearing that outfit, girl.
Thank you. Yes, inspired by the 20s.
Yes.
And flapper era, Harlem Renaissance.
Yes. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
So,
I need to snap it up for Zemill, though. I can't follow him, but this is a snap for my previous poets. Shout out to Zemill. We need to bring you back, have a little session. Do I hear the Lyfe Live Poetry Night? Did I hear that?
Oh, wait. No. Now
that sounds good to me.
A little jazz. Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. You just in our creative mind right about now. Because it's definitely gonna go. So tell us about Leslie. Tell us, Miss Leslie.
Ooh, wow. Okay, how much time do I have? Well, Leslie is emotional, as you can see. I'm an empath. Leslie is spirit. Leslie is God's daughter, Yahweh's. From Brooklyn, New York, born and raised by Haitian parents by way of Haiti. That's the red and blue I represent today. In my blood, in my veins. I am everything you see before me. I'm just a vessel being used to contain the water that you will cry out for one day to think of, because a day will come where you will have no one else to think of, and you will thirst for his holy hand at the blink of that moment when you've reached the end of your rope. I am Yahweh's, and he is the orator of my speech and the lamp to my feet in which I walk every day. I am Yahweh's, and he is me. So that's who Leslie is.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If I had a mic, I would just drop it.
So I'm a poet. I'm a creative being. I write, I act, I perform, I do whatever my heart's content. Just as Buffy says, I let my dream live for me. I am a definite dreamer. I have never killed my dreams. I try to keep the dream alive. It's hard. In reality, in retrospect, life isn't easy. We have a lot of dreamers in all of us. And some of us are afraid to tap into those dreams or try to make them a reality because it's challenging. But the dream will always be with us, and it will haunt us until we do something that is a part of that dream. Even if we're just scratching the surface, it will forever be with us. So I've chose to live it. It took some time to realize my purpose and why I was here. I'm definitely a dreamer. Leslie is a dreamer for sure. And I'm thankful to be able to live it every day.
There's a comment from Zemill.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That needs to happen.
You bad. You bad.
Yeah.
So
y'all need to chat and get something together, because I can just see that. So definitely you guys need to talk about that. So much like I was asking Zemill about that balance, and here it is, you seeing, you watching your video and you watching your poetry and you saying all these like inspiration and these situations that occurred in life. How do you maintain the balance and not get too deep into it and be able to come out of it? How do you maintain that?
You know, my life is poetic, and I allow myself to go there, wherever it is that I'm being navigated to. When my writing is inspired by true events, by experiences. My pen pours out whenever I have a response to something that I've experienced. So it could be friendships, relationships, encounters, moments, things that I've witnessed. I pour out, and that's how I respond. Ironically, I am an extreme introvert. Okay,
Oh
let's
wow.
remove the poet, actor, stage person. I am extremely shy,
Mhm.
and I don't always speak what my heart says. The words don't always get delivered the way I want them to. So when I could be private with my pen and my pad, well, it's the computer nowadays, but when I can be in private space, I can really pour my thoughts out. I I'm constantly walking on a cloud.
Mm,
I'm constantly creating. I watch. I'm very observant of my surroundings, and I take from life to imitate the things that you'll read about in my poetry. I definitely just let myself go there. I wouldn't say I have a balance. I surround myself with a lot of love, and I ground myself in faith so that I could be all things to all people, because that's what God calls us to be.
mhm.
So I'm here. I'm in the middle. I'm wherever He wants to pull me, left or right. So that's my balance. It's really comes from above, and that's what grounds me and keeps me not going too far. Because
Mhm.
whatever it is that I do, I ask for permission
Mm.
before I go into that. I put it before God, and I ask, is this where you want me to go? And if He says okay, I go. If the door is closed, then I don't go. So my balance is through my faith.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are like
So
you there, but
I, rem-
yeah.
I
yeah.
remember that poem that you did at Standing Firm book release, and
Oh
that just like kind
yes.
of moved everybody. She did a poem about domestic
A
violence.
black woman.
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was awesome. That was awesome,
I
girl.
remember that day.
Yeah, I
Another
still think
another painful and I have a story about that, what came after that. But that
yeah.
poem was to support that month, domestic violence awareness. And then the
mhm,
movie that Gerald produced and filmed and directed, which was
mhm,
amazing, out of his book. He turned it to life and put it on the screen, which was
mhm,
amazing,
Mhm.
about domestic violence. That poem was fictional, but it actually became a reality. It's not
mhm.
unfortunate, because hello, I'm here. I'm standing firm.
Mhm. Standing
because
firm.
I stood
Yeah.
because I stand on who I believe, who I believe in, and that's what got me
Mhm,
through. But believe it or not, there were guests there present in my life at that moment when I wrote that poem,
mhm.
that put me through what that month is all about. That if
Mhm.
you guys can read between the lines, but here
Right.
I am, here
Yes,
I
yes,
stand, and
yes.
never
Yeah.
again did it happen again. I got myself out of it. God got me through it.
Got
And
Mhm.
I didn't even know. And like I said, I typically write about real life situations, but I wrote that and crafted that poem to support Gerald's event, not having
mhm,
experienced any form of
mhm.
domestic violence, but knowing stories, knowing someone who had, and then
Yes.
following that, it turned out to be me. It turned out to be my story for a
Mhm.
Wow.
movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do remember that. It was, we
So
had.
you have to let God use you. I didn't know what He was doing, and
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
used me, and I just being obedient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
that's where that responsibility comes in from the human's perspective. We have a responsibility because God gives a gift. Sometimes it's not a good gift, sometimes it's a bad gift, but it's a gift because it's not
mm,
always for you, it's for someone else. So you have to cherish
mm,
that gift and just be obedient and just listen
yeah.
because I mean trials and tribulations happens to all of us,
Yeah.
Yes.
definitely does. So
Yeah.
but I'm glad you were able to get out of that, and
Yes. Yes.
you're still standing firm as you
Yes.
stated.
Yes.
And I commend you on that. I
Thank you.
commend
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
so
Thank you.
so now let's go to your creative space because I know how
Okay.
important creative spaces are to an artist in general. So when you're seeking that desire, because it's always something that balls up in you. It's like, how do you enter that space, that creative space, willingly and openly? Like, how do you enter that creative space?
Well, for me, I wait for a moment. It comes to me. I don't chase it. I recognize early on that I have the gift for words and for speaking, and I love to play with words from since I was a child, reading poetry of like Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein. One of my favorite books is I Know Where the Sidewalk Ends. That's one of his books. I fell in love with words really young, and I knew that I always had something to say. Just I'm talkative, long-winded Leslie, and talkative
I
Leslie.
love it. I love it.
And and I have loved ones watching me and probably like, yeah, she talks a lot. I tap in to my surroundings. I don't always look for an opportunity. It's not like I'm like, today I need to write a poem. It doesn't come to me that way. I just have to experience something. And honestly, a lot of the poems that I've written, I didn't have a plan for them. It was just what I was doing therapeutically for me to get through a moment or respond to a moment. And I decided to start publishing collections of my poetry, to leave it behind for my family, for my friends, and just to leave an imprint, my footprint in the world, that I lived, proof that I had lived and what I was talking about, for people to read. But when I really get inspired, when I get triggered, when I get that vibration, like even listening to Zemill, I'm like, oh, I think I might pick up the pen. It's been a minute, but I feel like writing something. I get
Yes.
inspired by other creatives. So the short answer would be surrounding myself with other creatives. I get inspired, and it doesn't have to be other poets. It could be a musician. It could be another actor. It could just be an artist. Anything where someone is creating original work, I get inspired to now come out with something original as well. And then either I'll pick up a pen or I'll start writing a story. I'm currently writing an episodic screenplay at the moment that I hope to have to do present my first directorial debut, hopefully. But that I got inspired by just somebody else also doing the same thing and just being in the same space. So definitely, for those artists who are out there, I say to stay encouraged, surround yourself with like-minded folks. It is a real thing. It's cliche. We've heard it before, but it's definitely important to be with the birds that flock with you and that are flying in the direction that you want to go to, so that you can stay above and above your talent and stay on top of your talent and your gifts.
Yes.
Because it's a waste when you're not using them and they live inside of you. So as soon as I get that itch, I will get into my quiet space. So what my quiet space is, turning everything off, muting, putting the do not disturb on my phone and just focusing. And I will write something until it's finished.
Wow.
Otherwise, if I stop in the middle of like a poem and I don't complete the thought, the mood, the energy, and try to pick it up like the next day, it's lost. I've lost the vibration. I've lost the pulse. It's not the same. I've tried it, and then I learned that I will never do that again. So I write until I'm done, and then I reread it till I say it's complete. It's complete, and then I might revisit it, put it away for a little bit, revisit it, and really listen to what it is that I wrote, and then I might tweak it a little bit. But I try to write something fully, and then put it away and forget about it.
That's my process. I think that's excellent. And you said something that actually made me think about when you were saying cliches, like you're a product of your environment. You're basically people that are around you, or like you stated, creative individuals, to kind of feed that gift in you, in a sense. You have to stay aware of your environment, because you can become a product of your environment, be it good, bad, creative, non-creative, So, and another thing you stated is like, when you're writing, you have to continue it and see it to its end, because no one's promised tomorrow. So if you can do it today, do it today. Because like the whole cliche go, you're not promised tomorrow, and tomorrow may
Not at
never
all.
come. So
That's
all
right.
of that coincides with everything. And just with you saying that just kind of just, rang a couple of bells for me. So you're definitely a poet.
Yes, but thank you. And I have a good support system. My partner, who's hopefully watching, he is very supportive of me, and my friends, they all hold me accountable. And they would be like, hey, I haven't seen an episode of so and so. What happened to that show you started? And when you put something out there, I do it intentionally so that I can be like dinged and be like, hey, Lizzie, you haven't written a book. Are you going to publish another book? Like, yeah, I guess y'all are right. Okay. And I stay on top of it. But, I love what I do. It comes easy for me. It's fun. And I'm definitely a happy person when I'm creating on a day-to-day basis. So I definitely want to do more of that. And this show, thank you, Gerald, for inviting me, and thank you, Tina Marie, for having me. It's definitely gonna inspire maybe 2 or 3 poems after this. After I disconnect, I'm gonna be writing for a few hours. And my day off. It's my day off today and tomorrow. So I'm so excited to
I'm excited for you. Like I'm so excited for you. I'm like, yes.
And I promise you, I'm gonna promise you now that anything new that I create out of this moment, from this experience that I write about, you'll be the first to hear it, and I will share it on the Lyfe Live first.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You heard that, guys, right? You heard that.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Leslie. It was good. It was good to see you again. Like you said, we haven't seen each other in a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, we miss you. We miss you around the water cooler.
I miss you all too. I miss DC.
I miss you too, and I just met you.
Oh my God, I miss you too. I miss DC. I miss the DMV. I miss just being out there on the metro, riding the red line, coming from.
I don't even miss that.
Oh yes. I miss coming out of Union Station and crossing the street at FSA.
Yeah.
I miss everybody. Yeah, definitely miss it. I miss the food. I miss Ben's Chili Bowl. I miss U Street 14th. Oh, I miss everything.
All right. Well,
I'm in New York. I'm home now.
Yeah, we will definitely keep up though.
Absolutely. And we have your support. You have our support.
Thank you so much. It's where I started. Just a little quick background. No, we don't have a lot of time, but the first stage that I hit was in Baltimore when I performed my first poem, and it was called Invisible Man. It was a response to Ralph Ellison's book Invisible Man, and I wrote a poem in response to that, the female version. And then the second time I performed was at College Park at my alma mater, University of Maryland, at a juke joint. We would have every third Thursday. We turned the Nyambudu Cultural Center into a juke joint, and we tore it down just like they did back in the day. Nyambudu is Freedom House in Swahili, and that's where I first, really started tapping into the spoken word art form. I didn't know what it was in New York. In New York growing up, I was a rapper. I was, throwing hot 16s. I was on the mailbox on the corner spitting bars. That's what I did. So my poetry started with rap, and rap turned into poetry. And the poet became an actor and all that, everything else that you see now. But I do have a movie coming out. I don't know if you're going to get into that. It is called Men Don't Cheat. The movie, this is my first full feature leading role in a full-length film. It will be on your streaming platforms this Christmas, so look out for that. You will be able to see it, written and directed by Eric Hawkins, produced by Prudence Pojazz. It's amazing. I work with some really great humans. Pretty Ricky Fontaine, who's a comedian out of New Jersey. She's on tour right now with Cat Williams doing her thing. And then the person who plays my husband, Mr. Mike Strong, aka, and he is also associate producer of All the Queen's Men on BET Plus, streaming right now. These are my castmates, and I just, Shanice Rodriguez plays Tiffany. This is a comedy about love, about marriage, and about men not cheating in a good light. Maybe not. Gotta see the movie to find out. But I played Janae McCrae.
Oh my gosh, we're definitely going to look forward to that.
Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Leslie. We appreciate you coming by.
My pleasure. I'll see you
Love
soon
it.
with some new
Okay.
material.
All righty. Have a good
All
evening.
right.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Ask-
Bye-bye.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. She's a woman to be reckoned with, I should say.
But remember, she said she was an
Very
introvert.
much. Huh?
She said she was a strong introvert. Remember that?
Well, yeah, but you
I
know,
said that
the
no,
looks
that's
are
not real.
deceiving. Looks are
She's right.
deceiving.
She's
She
gone.
is a
But I
powerhouse.
love it. I love it when people talk. You know, they
Yeah,
go like
just
that.
let them
So she
talk.
was gone. And I
Everyone
love that.
wants to be heard, Gerald.
Yeah, I
Even
love
me.
that.
So stop talking over me.
Well, you know, that's different. I love to hear Leslie talk.
Yeah, but you're right though. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. So we're going to commercial real quick.
So we're gonna do a commercial, and then
Yes.
we get to talk with Dr. Cynthia Smith from Jacksonville.
Yes, we have a doctor in the house.
So you know, we got to pay these bills and stuff, you know. So
Yes.
hi, I'm Gerald C. Anderson Sr., co-host of the Lyfe Live. The Lyfe Live is the voice and soul of the people, and when the people speak, we listen. Thanks to feedback from our viewers, we're branching out with a new initiative to support youth authors and the Lyfe Live show. Through an application and selection process, the Inspiring Youth Authors Program will provide publishing packages absolutely free to youth authors who have not been sponsored previously through the initiative and are aged 8 to 18. Your donations totaling $500, along with the complimentary services of the Lyfe Publishing, will enable one child to achieve dreams they previously thought unattainable. In appreciation, all donations of $100 or more will be acknowledged by our bi-weekly radio show. Donations of $500 or more will be acknowledged on the show and in our printed publication, the Lyfe Magazine. Thank you in advance for partnering with us to inspire our youth. Visit www.thelifelive.com for more information. All right, so let's
young authors out there.
Yeah, we actually had a couple that have reached out, so we really like for y'all to help us get these young people published. You know, they got the tools, they just don't have the finances to be able to do it. So let's all just chip in and help them publish a book.
Yes, we have to help somebody and know somebody to help somebody.
That's right.
We're all here for each other. So.
That's right. So we have Minds. Speaking of young people, we have Minds of the Future Academy.
Oh, I thought you was talking about me. Oh, you said young people, so I thought you was okay.
No, not much younger than you. Minds of the Future Academy is coming to the stage. She's gonna tell us about her school, how she got it started, and all. So let's welcome Dr. Cynthia Smith to the stage.
Hello, Dr. Smith.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
How you doing?
All right. Still in office.
Well, you're an educator, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Education never stops. It goes on and on and on. It doesn't have an age. It doesn't have an expiration date.
That's right.
That's the truth. You ain't lying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell us how you came about getting the Minds of the Future Academy started.
So I decided that I was looking at, I decided after working in education for public education for 16 years, when I looked at my student loan statement, I said, I'm never going to be able to pay these loans back. No, that's a joke. But I always start off lightly with a joke. You like with a joke. I've been working all day. But it's somewhat true, though, because I really, really enjoy being a teacher, being an administrator, working in just the public school system. I just really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But and a lot of my friends and people around me at that time had talents, and they were utilizing their talents to make money, and they loved it and they enjoyed it. But I used to always be told, not that I had a desire or a dream to be a lifelong educator. It was something that I enjoyed, but I was told, you know, by me, we often have heard that educators don't get compensated for what they do. Like, you know, it's just something that we've always heard. And so it is true because, you know, even to this day, with me being a business owner of a private school and being the operator of the private school, there is no amount of money that you can put on someone's education. There's not an amount of money that I could possibly pay even my staff or myself to support what we're doing. So it definitely wasn't about money for me. It was about the passion that I had to be able to educate and work with students and create a future for them that I didn't have, to be able to provide economic development in a community that I actually grew up in, is where my school is. So if it was daytime, I would really turn this computer screen around so you can see that my high school that I graduated from is directly outside of my window. And so that is definitely motivation for me every day I come in, because I think about the times that I, when I was a high school student and I graduated high school, not even knowing the difference between a bachelor's or a master's or AA degree, or how to enroll in college, that I need, scholarship money once the financial aid runs out. How am I going to continue paying for school? All of these things are things that I had to learn, but they also was a motivator for me to open up Minds of the Future Academy, because I did not and do not want other children to be able to grow up and not even have an understanding of college and career readiness and what that means. It's really, truly a lot of adults, y'all, that don't know what an AS degree is, what a bachelor's is, what a master's is, what a career technical certificate is. My school is a STEM school. So what that means in a nutshell for the community that I'm in is that these students are learning a trade at a very young age. And if they continue here, and then we provide, now we have high school students and they're working in internships. Guess what? You graduate high school and now you don't have to struggle as hard, because at least you have a trade under your belt, and you not only have a trade, just any trade, you have a trade in a STEM background that is leading our nation, y'all. STEM is leading our nation. The sciences, the technology, the engineering piece, the math, it's students that I've met that are designing things for electrical companies that are 19 years old that are making money. And that is what I wanted to be able to bring in the school that I created.
Yeah. And your school is a pre-K through 12th grade, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me tell you how that went.
Wow.
It was originally, I'm going to open this private school and we're going to prepare children for a foundation. I kept saying foundation. And when I finished educating the first class of kindergarten students, the parents said, well, where they supposed to go? Because we want them to stay with you. So I said, okay, I'm going to go up. I'm going to do first grade. And I said, okay, you know what? Then I'm gonna add second grade, because they weren't leaving. We're in year 4, going into year 4. This is year 4 right here. I said, I'm just gonna add 12. I'm just gonna go up to 12th grade, because at this point you are not leaving. You asking me about, can I bring my 4th and 5th grader? So this year we'll have our first graduating class.
Wow.
And I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I'm so excited about it. And I just think it's going to be amazing. And so I'm not only working hard for the foundation of learning, now I'm just working hard overall, because I want you to be able to have a good education in the future.
Right. Because I remember the last time we talked, I didn't think it was through 12th grade. So that's
it wasn't. You're right. Yeah.
So that's great. That's a great accomplishment. So
wait, let's go back. Let's go to like you said, foundation. We know why you wanted to start a school. How did you actually start? How did you begin? Did you go out and say, okay, I want to get that building and build the school? Or what did you have to do initially to just start, or even think of starting a school? Because that's a big deal.
It is. My thought of starting was honestly, I have a book that's I have 3 books that's actually, let me tell you, I have 3 books coming out on my birthday, which is December the 10th, as well as my documentary, which is all basically December the 10th is my new year. I will be showcasing all of my projects, my hard work that I've been diligently working on, not only just for 2023, but honestly, more so for the past 2 years. And I'm ready to just showcase the world. But in my book, The Educated Entrepreneur, because I have 3 books. The Educated Entrepreneur, and that book pretty much will share the journey of the question that you asked. So I'm going to answer that in short. And just the triumphs and the challenges that I've gone through, starting from, you know, being a student myself all the way to the doctor today. And then I have a children's book that's self-titled Minds of the Future Academy, which is about a little girl that actually wants to actually go to school, but mom just don't have the time to even go take her to sign up. And then we have the book Black Boys to Black Men. That is on Amazon, but I haven't advertised that yet. Because again, my showcase will be on December the 10th alongside my documentary. But I worked in a public school system, as I stated to you, for over 16 years. And when I first left the school system, I opened up my daycare. And I said, I'm going to see how this daycare goes, see how that works at pre-K students. And I was like, okay, this is great. But my goal always was to open up a high school, not elementary education, because my teaching experience was high school students, but my administrative experience was elementary students. So I said, so I had a desire, like I want to open up a high school, but I want to be able to open up a high school that offers like various programs. So dropout prevention, teen pregnancy, those things interest me, because I had always kind of worked with those subgroups my last couple of years of teaching. Well, I went and I opened up the daycare, and I said I like it. It was on autopilot. I had a great staff, and I got a call to go back to ask me to come back and work at this particular high school. And I went back and worked, and I had been gone for maybe a year, but within a year's time, I noticed a drastic difference in the students, the teachers. They were much younger. Not saying that's a problem, but it was much more experienced. The students were not engaged in the classrooms. I saw more students hanging out than hanging in. And then there was an incident that particularly happened to a colleague of mine who was also an administrator, and I watched that whole situation unfold, and there were little to no regard for the actual administrator. It was almost like students were just out of control, and I just said, you know what, that I had already been thinking about opening up a school, and my motivation for opening the school was because I wanted to see these kids have a better future. And I felt like, you know what, I done impacted school districts. I've impacted, communities. I've impacted charter, public, and schools. So you know what, I think I could do this. And so I started touring schools outside of Florida. Nothing against Florida. I live in Florida, born and raised Jacksonville. But I said, I want to see some different experiences, because what I was looking for, I didn't see here. I hadn't been in schools here, so I didn't see it here. So I started touring schools, New Orleans, New York, anywhere Atlanta, anywhere that you could probably think of. But I strategically researched schools. With me doing so, I was able to look at all of those schools, and it was almost like a puzzle for me, because I was putting together Minds of the Future Academy. Oh, I like that. I like that. I would love to do this. And I combined all of that with my experiences, and I created Minds of the Future Academy. It wasn't as easy as it sounds. It wasn't as simple as it sounds, because I had never, I had a daycare. And the difference is the daycare, people need daycare. They need private school too, but not as much as daycare, right? Because I can go enroll my child in a private school or a public school if that's what it takes, for free, with no problem. But I wanted to be able to bring something different. So I had political experience, right? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna open up this private school, but I'm gonna campaign this private school as if I'm running for a political office, which I had did before in my life. I ran for school board, and I won a primary election, came very close, 2% difference between me and a winner for the general election. And that just wasn't my calling, but it was my experience. So that experience I used. So I knocked on doors, and I educated parents, And as you know, private school, you have to find and get pretty much your own funding other than what you may get
Yes.
from the private school vouchers, which does not cover tuition. But I say, you know what, for the first 3 years, I'm going to run my program as if it's a political campaign, and I'm going to do something different that no private school has done. I'm not going to ask you for your money for the first 3 years. I'm going to ask you for your support. What does your support look like? Coming into my school, reading a book, being a part, being engaged with these students, with these parents. And so now year 4, I'm able to, call up businesses when we have fundraising events and say, hey, are you interested in being a part of this? I have people to sponsor various programs and things that we have here for the students, because now they know that the passion that I have is visibly seen. And they also see that all of the funding or in support that has been given, whether has it been physical or financial, is going back into the school. Because I invite people in completely to see, what we have going on, because I believe that's important. Again, taking into account my campaign experience of running a successful political grassroots campaign, I use that same campaign here to create Minds of the Future Academy.
You got a question there?
Yes. Oh, so what happened tonight? We are raising funds now for our forever home, because we've the location that we're in. We've been here 4 years, and we're blessed because we have grown in this location. We pretty much have outgrown this location by way of how we have our classroom structured. So we started a Capital Campus campaign, and we connected with business owners and entrepreneurs and businesses in the area to see if they would like to host a campaign event for us. So we hosted our first one tonight, and that's why I was like running back and forth.
Yeah, you're right.
So, we raised over $20,000 tonight.
All right.
Within an hour at our first campaign event here at the school. So I'm really excited about it.
All right. Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can get my $5 back. You don't need my $5 then.
Well, honey, every dollar counts right now. While I'm on the phone, my major dance instructor saying, "Hey, we need some batons." Oh God, they don't stop. Imagine having to take care of 2 kids. No, I have 100. I have 150. No, it doesn't stop.
That's so awesome, though. Oh my God!
You did put the link in your in comments to donate to the school. So.
Oh yes, absolutely. We want to send them to the website, and I'll make sure I type it on there as well.
Yeah, I already put it on there.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. That is so. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
Education is important.
Yeah, and you stated that it's in the community that you was raised in.
Yes, it is located directly across the street from my high school that I graduated from.
Wow.
Is 1 minute away from the middle school that I went to, and it is 4 minutes away from the elementary school that I went to, and the neighborhood in which I lived in. My mom, my brother, my cousins, we lived in this duplex apartment for over 9 years. And so, growing up, I always say this as a disclaimer, because I feel like everybody has a unique story, and I don't really feel like my story is unique. But when I tell it, people are like, "Oh my goodness, that's your story."
It is unique.
That is how I got into this whole documentary piece. But I say that, excuse me, I say all of this to say that we didn't. I didn't realize that I never lived in a house. Like throughout my lifetime, I never realized I lived in a house. So that's something major. For me to be able to provide consistency for these kids. Like I look at us having a forever home is a piece of providing stabilization for children, because you know what? I know that there are some children that live place to place.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even though I lived in an apartment my entire life, had some sort of consistency, but I didn't
And
have.
stability.
I didn't know what it meant to have a home with a yard. Like, you know, okay, we lived in a duplex, so I played in the street, or you know, my yard was shared, you know, things like that. Like that
Right.
matters. So to me, that's why I'm going so hard with this Capital Campus campaign for finding a forever home for our students. And being able to bring in people to see what we offer, you know, what we do, doing these interviews, like, you know, providing awareness to people outside of the community, because the community, the inside, they know what we already have. They know what we providing. They know what we do. I need to be able to provide support to people outside of the
Right.
community.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that you're in your community and you're giving back to the community in retrospect, if you think about it, you know. So I think that's commendable in itself, you know, because you don't have to do it there. This is something that you wanted to do in your community, because it's so relatable. And I mean, and these are your, I mean, you went to school there, you lived there. I think that's commendable in itself, just that you did it. You're not talking about it, you did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
when you said your story isn't unique, I was like, everybody don't open a private school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's unique.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's huge.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we appreciate you running back and forth between your fundraiser and our show to talk to us tonight. I mean, you've definitely grown since the last time I had a conversation with you. So you keep doing those great things out there. Pretty soon you're gonna have more schools than just the one.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I can see that. You feel like cracker. I see it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we appreciate you coming by and
yes.
keep raising that money.
All our information for the school and stuff. We have the information in. We shared it already.
Jeremy? We already put the link in for donations.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. And it's always a blessing to be on. I appreciate it. I know the times was I was all over the place because I think somebody on LA time, right? Are you all on LA time?
No, I'm in Maryland. Buff
Buff was LA. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She is doing big things.
Yeah, that's like, it ain't every day somebody open a public school, a private school.
Like a private school that does STEM. I mean, and people, they don't know how important that STEM is. That STEM education is, you need that through life.
Right.
You need that through life.
Yeah. So another great show is wrapped up.
Way past my bedtime. We went over.
So we do.
We didn't. Why I feel like it? Is it the time change? Is it that?
It must be the time change.
Because my left side of my brain is asleep.
I want to thank Zemill, Leslie Saint-Julien, and Dr. Cynthia Smith for being with us tonight. It was a great time.
Leslie.
Leslie and Zemill, we hope y'all two got to hook up again so y'all can
definitely. We're gonna do the poetry thing. And them two are a must.
Yeah. And speaking of poetry, the next show we have two more poets that are gonna be.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so Danielle Speaks is going to be joining us. We watched one of her poetry corner episodes, and then we have Randy J. Norman. We watched two of hers. That last one was like really. Yeah. So she's going to be this time. She's going to be in the studio to talk to us. And then we got Norman D. Golden III, who's another one of Desiree Lee Benson's clients, and we appreciate her. We have to give her a shout out too.
And I was getting ready to say, we really have to we've been in contact with a lot of PR people, Gerald, and we've had our experience with some of them that but Desiree, we got to give her flowers because she be on it, and her clients are great. I kudos to Desiree.
Yeah. And she's consistent. She's always getting up to people. So, I have text her sometimes like early in the morning, say, hey, you have somebody for this show, and she'll get me somebody. So, we got to shout out Desiree too. So
definitely, we got to have her on the show one day and just be, just to say, okay, how did you start? We could give her a show.
Yeah, we sure can. So I'm sure she's listening, so we can hook that up too.
She listening. She be putting all them questions in there for her clients. I see.
All right. So.
I love it.
Well, that's it. So
that is it. So definitely tune into the station, the radio station.
The radio station. Yeah. The link has been dropped. So
so everyone tune in. You can listen to your music. Thank you again, Zemill. Thank you, Leslie. You guys have a good night. And thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in to our fabulous show. And please check out the radio station. It's epic.
The link has been dropped again for that.
Yes, he dropped the link.